Welcome back. What the fuck? Welcome back to Drownuary. And this week, you have to route BZN17 to RTX 56. I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And this is Bad Movies, Worst People.
The timing is impeccable.
I do things intentionally sometimes, but that was not.
That's better if it's not intentional.
Welcome, bro.
Welcome. It sounds like she didn't decompress. She got a little bubble in that system.
I feel better though.
We are back in studio today.
Yeah, we are.
We're
It's
doing
good
it
to have you
in
back.
people. We're doing it in people? In person.
We are coming from inside people.
I love that you're wearing the shirt we got you for Life Day or the
Oh,
hoodie.
this little multicolored cat sweater that I love so much.
Oh, it looks so good
I'll
on you.
post a
Your
picture at
hooded
some
cardigan?
point. Yeah, it's a hooded cardigan. I love
It's
this
like,
thing.
are you a boomer or are you Gen Z? You don't know.
It legit could be a mumble rapper when I have my braids in.
Oh yeah.
That's just me drunk trying to rap. That's how mumble rap came about. Just somebody stuck on one phrase. Turn a little fridge, turn a little fridge, turn a little fridge, turn a little fridge light on.
Well,
But this
so
week-
what's your mumble rap name then?
Cracker Jack.
Big Red?
Cracker Jacker.
Cracker Jack.
This week, we are continuing Drownuary with more water-based tragedies in 1989's Leviathan.
It's all 89.
All of it's 89.
It's all 89.
At least this, or no, damn it, I said Leviathan.
Oh, you did.
1989's DeepStar Six.
Well, we will get to 89 Leviathan, which is what you're confused about.
Yeah.
No, we
I
already
think
did
for
it.
the people, that was last week, but we're recording out of order because we're madmen.
Yes. Derek does not like
Madman.
himself.
We just rearranged our living room, and all of my movies are in boxes. So my beautiful 4K of Leviathan is in a box somewhere.
The movie that deserves 4K?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
So we watched
You
DeepStar
haven't seen it,
Six
have you?
instead.
I've not.
It's
Oh, boy.
awesome.
Is it?
No, it's
Directed
not.
by George P. Cosmatos.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it when we get
It
there.
is not awesome.
They already know this. The listeners know this. They remember everything I said. They don't tune out.
So
I don't know what
he's
you're
gonna be
talking
all
about.
caught up.
But this one came out in 1989 as the same year as Leviathan and The Abyss. So yeah, most of the movies we did this month.
Uh-huh.
The Abyss, by the way, is on our Patreon, patreon.com/worstpeople.
It deserves to be.
It does.
It's such a good movie.
So for the people who want to know up front, you can. This movie is not free streaming anywhere right now, but it's $3.59 to rent on Amazon or Apple. Oh, it's $3.59 on Amazon, $4 on Apple
Oh.
because they need that extra money.
Yep.
And apparently, you can't buy it on Amazon from what I could find, but you can buy it on Apple for $13.
Oh, that's crazy. Like
Now,
rental without
I only
viable,
looked at
huh?
Just Watch. I didn't actually go and
Yeah.
check the Amazon app, so it could be wrong. But Just Watch told me that.
I like that Just Watch.
But $3.59, you can watch it. So
You
Save
can knock
your
on my door.
recommendations.
I didn't recommend anything. I just said you can watch it for $3.59. This is directed by Sean S Cunningham, who we just had on the show in December.
Welcome
because
back.
he directed Friday the 13th, the original. And the guy that did the music for this also did the music for Friday the 13th, Harry Manfredini.
Okay.
I like that last name, Manfredini.
And Jack was loving this guy on Friday the 13th.
Is that like
Yeah.
Manfriend?
Manfriend?
Eenie.
Manfredini.
Like a little version of it.
That's Edo.
Yeah, you were loving this guy on Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
but
super
here-
synthy.
Yeah, not on this.
Here is flat, dude. I mean, he's coming in just for a paycheck on this.
He's trying to do like a Jerry Goldsmith or Alan Silvestri, and he's just kind of like,
It just feels mailed in.
yeah. And it was written by two guys, Louis Abernathy and Jeff Miller, who both of whom wrote Almost Nothing. Louis Abernathy wrote Terminal Invasion, which I've mentioned before because Sean S Cunningham also directed that.
Is that the sequel to The Terminal with Tom Hanks? He comes back with an AK-47
Yeah,
and just goes ham on the airport.
He comes back for more ketchup packets.
You took away my ketchup packet?
No ketchup packet in my home country of wherever the fuck is Slavia.
Oh, God, what was it?
Is it made up or real?
I think it's made up.
Probably.
Krakosha. That's what it is.
Krakosha.
Krakosha.
But wasn't it like based on a true story? Didn't like some.
Maybe
I think it was
exaggerated
based on a
as fuck.
true-ish story.
Yeah,
Okay.
true-ish sounds right.
But yeah, he wrote that. It's a alien invasion movie with Bruce Campbell. I still haven't watched
groovy.
it, but it's directed by Sean S Cunningham.
What
so
year?
I'll watch it one day.
89.
No,
A
90s,
busy year for the Cunningham.
90s something, I think.
All right. I'll check that out with you.
And then the other guy, Jeff Miller, wrote House 4.
Ooh.
That
We've
sounds
talked about
familiar.
this.
The Repossession, by the way.
Yeah, we've
is
talked about the
subtitle.
House franchise on this podcast before. We've not done any of them. House 1 is kind of an 80s horror-esque. House 2 is slapstick boob comedy, probably without boobs, though.
Yeah, I don't think there was any
I
boobs.
don't think there's boobs. And then House 3 is something completely different from that.
It's one of those movies that's entirely unrelated and someone just slapped House on
Exactly.
it. But it's my favorite one because it has Lance Henriksen and Brian James.
And then House 4 is...
House 4 is actually House 3, and it's the sister of the guy from the first one, I think.
Yeah.
It was all right.
So my suggestion is to watch House 2 and then watch House 3 and ignore everything else.
I bet you he's going to make us
As
do
two
all 4.
separate movies, though. Oh, of course, he probably has them on 4K.
No.
Ooh.
Arrow Video did
Someone's
put out a
getting
box
birthday
set, though.
present.
Arrow Video put out a box set of all the House movies, but it was before I'd seen them, and I was like, well, I've never seen this. I'm not buying a box set of 4 movies I haven't seen.
You have
Bullshit.
before.
Says the guy says the guy with the Ingrid Bergman box set that's got 39 movies in it, one of which I've seen before, but it's fine. And I want to mention real quick because this movie starts with the Carol Co logo. And I don't know if you guys recognize this logo, the C
like
with
Canon.
the laser lines. It's kind of like Canon, but Carol Co did a bunch of movies from the 80s and beyond, but mostly the 80s.
And beyond.
And we've done movies from them before because they did they produced all 3 of the first Rambos.
Oh.
They produced Total Recall, Terminator 2, not 1, Cliffhanger, and Universal Soldier.
So this is a very well-known logo in my brain.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah, it's as soon as it popped up, I was like, it's one of those. It's a C, so I see it, and I'm like, Canon, no.
Honestly, though, before this podcast, I don't think I ever gave a shit about production that much.
Guess what? I still don't.
I know you don't. But like now I'm starting to get it where like I told this story recently. You guys were over with the Bleeps and some other people, and I just put on a random movie. Well, I knew what it was, but I put on a movie when no one was looking, and it popped up, and Derek's like, what is this? And the Canon logo popped up. He goes, oh my God, I love it. And like that's now in my brain where I'm like, oh, I know that logo. Maybe not the big boys, but a Canon, and this one I'm gonna remember now.
Yeah,
Like knowing I know what I'm in for.
I think they did Red Heat also, so they're not always great, but they still put out. It's schlocky 80s shit.
Yeah.
So
For those listening, it ended up being Masters of the Universe was the movie.
yeah,
As soon as Dolph Lundgren's name came up, you were like, oh, I know what this is. And
Yeah.
yes.
I because even if it's a terrible Canon movie, I'm probably gonna have a good time.
For sure.
Now,
I agree
Canon
with
did do non-action shit, but I knew that's not what you put on.
that.
You're going to have a good time.
Canon
Mhm.
dipped their toes into dramas and like children's films and some other stuff, but
yeah.
Quickly took him out.
I knew that's not what Jack was putting on. That's why I
No,
was like,
he just
"Ooh, Canon."
yeah, he knows me and I know my audience.
You do know your audience.
Let's watch Goodwill Hunting after a night of drinking.
So let's play the "Did this movie make any money?" game.
Ooh.
So I'll
okay.
give you the budget.
Dibs. No.
So what was the budget?
The budget was $8 million.
I'm going to say they made 6.
Made $6 million.
Okay, I'll give you guys a hint.
I'm gonna
No.
go
Technically, there was a profit.
Oh.
because of worldwide. So it made
Okay.
it made 1 million domestic.
I don't know. I didn't write down domestic
No,
and world.
okay.
I,
So
I, I
I'll
think
say-
it might have only had one number from what I could find. So
I'll give it 8.5 million.
Okay. So
It's gotta be over 8.
over 8, and it was 8 million period. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't 8.2.
no, 8 million.
All right. So I'll go. Fuck it. I'll say 9.
8.1.
What?
We both went over. What a
This
shame.
movie made $100,000.
What was their advertising?
Probably nothing. This movie was
$8.1, Bob.
Sean Cunningham started developing this in '87 with the express purpose of being the first to release on the slate of underwater sci-fi action films that were coming out in 1989.
Okay.
Because they knew things like The Abyss and Leviathan were in pre-production. So basically his idea was, let's do that too, but do it faster.
Yeah. And it shows.
Yeah, it shows.
Because we did a lot of, what did you call it?
Wet for dry.
Yeah.
Or dry for wet.
Dry for wet in this case.
Yeah, dry for wet. Which means nobody's actually underwater most of the time. I mean, there were 2 shots, I think, where people were actually underwater, but it's the thing that James Cameron talked about. I think I mentioned it on the Abyss episode if you listen to that, but he thought it looks like shit. Because what you do is you'll use like slow motion, you'll put smoke around, you'll put certain lighting effects, so it looks like people are underwater.
Right.
But they're not.
It doesn't look like that.
And most of the time, I think the
It's
2 times
supposed
we
to
see
look like
people in water, they are underwater,
Correct.
but it's the ships and the everything
It's the
else.
bulldozer for the most part.
Well, because like in the Abyss, they had the 2 tanks. There was the one that the people were in, and there was a smaller one they did the miniatures in for the special effects.
Well, in The Abyss, they tried to drown Ed Harris. They were going for realism.
Yeah, well, I mean, James Cameron tried to drown himself.
Yeah.
But
And a rat.
this one, for all the underwater effects, they did the miniatures, and then they did the dry for wet. So it's, it's cheaper. But hey.
And safer.
And I have another fun fact that ties this to Friday the 13th. Not the original, but the series. The stunt coordinator on this movie was one Mr. Kane Hodder.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who, if you don't know that name, is a big, tall drink of Jason.
Yes, he is. What was that? Carrie and Jason?
That's the one he burst through the fucking door.
Yeah.
Or like jumps
Jumps
through a
the
window.
window.
Like, never in my life did I think I'd ever see
Jumps
Jason
in through a
jump.
window.
And I can't think right now. He didn't do them all, but he's the one that's most associated with it. And I think 7 might have been his first one, and it was like 7, 8, 9
Oh, okay.
or something like that.
He
Why
got
was
started
six
that
scared of
late.
7?
But he did it more than anybody else, as far as
And
I
he
know.
probably hit the cons,
Yeah.
which is why he's so fucking beloved.
Yeah.
I think so.
And he still
Be
does.
smart, dude. No, that's your fucking cow. That's your
He
cash
still
cow.
does shit like that. He did. There was a movie that came out 2023, 24, something like that. It was like some little whatever. It was like a throwback slasher thing called Kill Her Goats, which I have not watched, but it's the same idea. It's a big guy that kills people, and
Wait,
their big selling
hold on.
point was
Killer goats or
kill her
kill
goats.
her goats. Okay.
And
Let's
I
check it.
watched the trailer.
That's not
didn't-
just me, right?
Yeah, I watched the trailer. Didn't see anything. Didn't see a goat, but I saw a lot of mostly naked women.
Oh, lead with that next time. I would have made less jokes.
But their selling point for that movie was Kane Hodder in Kill Her Goats, and then wet boobs or like wet t-shirts,
Wet
short
boobs.
pants. That was the selling thing. It was
Yeah.
like Kane Hodder, mostly naked women. Go.
We've got Kane Hodder. We've got tits. We've got ass. Did I mention we've got Kane Hodder?
So this movie doesn't star anybody huge.
No, not really.
But it does star people that someone may know. I mean, there's at least one guy that all of us knew right away.
Well, and just being who we are as these movie watchers, we can pick out, and also TV watchers, because I think all three of us kind of have different shows. Like we have a lot of the same ones, but like there's shit your wife watches that we don't, and then also with you and I watching shit that each other don't.
Yeah.
So it's nice for like, oh, that's the girl from Charmed. Oh, that's the guy from this. Oh, that's the girl from this. You know, we kind of have our bases covered outside of sports.
Well, the star of the movie is from a show that I don't think any of us have ever seen, but at least you and I, Jack, know of its existence. Whitney
I don't
has
know.
no idea.
Oh, I
He's
know the
gorgeous,
cover.
though.
No, not her.
Oh.
The main guy.
Yeah, I said he is
yeah.
Oh, I
gorgeous.
thought you
That's
said
what I-
she.
no, I
thought you
heard
said
he.
she. Sorry.
Yeah.
The main guy.
It's your fault for liking both, Whitney. Pick a fucking side.
I don't like both. I like all.
Stop being greedy.
No.
But the guy's
Good
name
answer.
is Gregory Evigan, perhaps, and he was BJ.
His name was sorry. His name was Greg. Perhaps
Evigan. I don't know, but he was BJ McKay from BJ and the Bear, which is a show about a man and his monkey.
I'm trying to get a
Named
BJ.
Bear.
Okay.
Yes, he had
Yeah,
a
a monkey named
chimpanzee named Bear, and he was a trucker named BJ. Don't look too far into it.
Well, do you see how none of us flinched here? We've been on this show too long. That would have normally been something I was like, well, Derek, what are you saying to me?
It
But now
comes
I'm
out
like,
so
yeah.
naturally now.
Yeah.
And it listens
A
so
trucker
naturally for you.
named BJ with a monkey named Bear. Yeah, go on.
And there's another relation to our new Patreon segment, Latchkey Vids, tangentially. The captain is played by a guy named Torian Black, who was one of the stars. He was in every episode of Hill Street Blues,
which is connected to
Steve Bochco
uh-huh.
produced and wrote that show, which is the guy that made Cop Rock.
I mean, he made so many fucking... Hill Street Blues was the big thing that got NBC to be like, they had a deal that said, we'll produce your next 12 shows.
Yeah, we
Something
watched
like that.
Jack and I started watching an interview with Steve Bochco.
We'll finish it up.
We will. Bleep wasn't into it,
Yeah.
so we turned it off. But and he was basically like, I don't know, I made Hill Street Blues, and they were like, what do you got? And he went to somebody. Oh no, they were gonna do Hill Street Blues the musical like on stage.
Uh-huh.
And some Broadway producer was like, fucking no,
That'll never work. And kind of right.
So then he went to a TV producer, and
But just
they were like, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do Hill Street Blues on Broadway on TV.
what hotness do you think? Like, this guy was so fucking hot. They were like, your next 12 shows, no matter what you put on paper, we'll produce.
Yeah.
We love you.
That's crazy.
That's insane. That's good. Like, you're doing all right.
So this starts with our two main characters, Collins and McBride, who I will from here on out refer to as BJ.
Yep.
Collins is played by Nancy Everhard. Great name. She was
in a show called Everwood, and I can't stop thinking about Nancy Everhard in the show Everwood.
and I usually write down episodes. I didn't in this case, but she was on Charmed, the original,
Okay.
and she was in Renegade.
Oh, talking about some show coverage here.
Enticing both of us.
And she was on The Pretender, which we've talked about a lot.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, she's an older, like, doctor lady.
I mean, that's
Collins was
8 years after this.
the BJ's
Yeah.
girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
The other.
Spoilers, she's pregnant.
What?
So she's definitely gonna die.
I mean, dude, you get an underwater sub with this many sexy people, there's going to be fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they are underwater people.
That's the preferred nomenclature. Atlanteans, dude.
And they have this underwater base called DeepStar Six.
Whoop, he said it.
And I don't know exactly. They're putting in missiles.
Okay,
For
so
the Navy?
one of the guys talks about he's just doing this until the oil picks back up. So I think that's what this is. It's an oil rig first and foremost, but they are getting contracted by the Navy or military of sorts to put these underwater missiles. But it's 89. We got to fucking bomb Russia.
Yeah, we do.
We need to make sure we bomb Russia.
And they have.
But we're working with a Russian?
Just one. He defected.
Okay.
He's telling us where to hit. He tells us where the good schools
Hey,
are.
ask America about World War II.
Operation Paperclip.
I'll ask Jack.
Professor Von Braun. But Operation Paperclip is specifically,
Yeah.
you were Nazis, and we're going to forgive your war crimes if you can help us do stuff as Americans.
Because the Nazis were good at rockets.
I said this many times, we'll move on from Nazis, I promise.
Probably.
But this is what probably not. This is what happens when you give like science-hungry people no limits. And I'm not saying everybody, by the way, but there are certain people that are like, well, I'd like to. We know more about hypothermia because of the fucking stupid Nazi experiments than we ever did, and that's one fucking microcosm of it. So
That's
I mean,
fair.
when you have somebody that's very hungry for knowledge, and then you have somebody like Hitler going, I don't fucking care if you do human experiments. Like,
I'll tell you who to do it on.
Yeah, like
See if you can put 8 legs on a dude.
Dude, they were trying to get women impregnated with different fucking animal semen. Yeah. Hitler wanted bear people. Hitler wanted bull people.
Oh, so it's
Wow.
like Jurassic World,
Yes.
where they were making the velociraptors into weapons.
It always comes back to Hitler.
Damn.
Moving on from Nazis,
So
dude.
Chris Pratt is kind of like Hitler, is what you're saying.
No,
I
he
mean-
was against it.
He
Chris
was
Pratt-
training. He was training those fucking
He was training the
velociraptors.
little raptors.
So he's more
Okay,
like
so
Goebbels.
Vincent D'Onofrio
Okay.
is more
yes.
Hitler because he's the one who was doing the fighting velociraptors. You know what? We'll get to
He's
that
more
movie.
like Goring.
And
so-
moving on.
We meet.
You want to
So-
try that again without a bubble in your throat?
No.
We meet, and then we meet this guy. Who comes up,
We
"Excuse me,
meet a
oh
very.
my god, I forgot to get the helium compressor thing, and now I talk like this the whole time I'm underwater. Oh my god.
There's a very British man.
Did you see the missiles?
This guy Van Gelder And it was funny because this movie is not good at giving you character names.
No.
Mm.
I got character names and actors from IMDb before we
But
watched.
we were trying to, all three of us, like, Derek, that's this person.
And I was sitting there and I was like, I still don't know who this old guy in charge of everyone is. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I do know because I looked at the names and I saw Van Gelder.
Uh-huh.
Because this guy is, how'd you put it, Jack? He's got the super colonial,
Yeah,
like, or
imperialist fucking British, like South African British.
Yeah.
It is a conquering tone.
But almost
He ends
Scottish
up-
at the same time.
Later, it's become Scottish. I think he's slipping in and out of his own accent. He ends up being less of a cunt than I thought he'd be.
Marius Wires.
Oh, Marius Wires?
Is that Scottish? Is that Welsh? Welsh?
No, that's a
Welsh.
fucking DJ Coachella. That is, Marius Wires has the greatest set design you've ever seen.
It's just a bunch of marionettes. He goes by Marius Net.
Marius.
Marius Wires.
But this guy was in God damn. Again,
Take a sip.
we were rearranging our house
This
today.
guy was in a movie.
We were rearranging our living room today and I have dust all up in my shit. And now I'm just like sniffles and phlegm.
I'm fine.
He's got dust up in his shit.
But he's in The Gods Must Be Crazy and he was in Blood Diamond, which once I saw that I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely the British guy.
Told ya. Told you he was imperialist as fuck.
But basically, like, so Collins, the doctor lady, question mark.
We will call her Connie.
I don't think I got her name. It comes up. Diane Norris is the character. Cindy Pickett is the actress.
And Connie is her character from Son-in-Law.
And Kate is her character from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
So we're gonna call her Connie.
Connie from here on out.
But I think it's Connie, Collins, and Scapelli,
Scapelli!
who is a young Asian woman. So you explain that name to me. But they're trying to tell him like, hey, we have to do these sounding like seismograph things to figure out whatever. And he's like, nope, we got to start excavating. Go. And they're like, but there's a big cavern and it might kill us. And he's like, yeah,
I don't have
you'll be
time
fine."
for this.
She
I'm
didn't
on a
start-
deadline.
Yeah, she didn't start that way though. She's like, this is a fucking a scientific discovery. I need to research this, yada yada. And he's like, no. And he's like, well, also it could kill us if you're not worried about like the science of it all.
And his thing too is he's like, hey, you've seen one cavern, you've seen them all. And I'm like, I don't think you know how ecosystems work.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Have you ever been to Mount Everest? No, but I have been to a mountain before, so I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I could climb it.
you've seen one hill, you've seen every mountain.
What about King of the Hill, man? Oh, doggone the heck, that boy said he's seen us. He said one hill's like another.
And we meet Snyder, who's played by Miguel Ferrer, who is the most recognizable person. Second, well, he's tied with the guy who dies very quickly and has almost no lines,
Yeah.
who I will just refer to as Spider-Man's landlord until I get to his name here.
But we all had
Russian.
something different for this guy. You had
RoboCop.
RoboCop,
I liked Blank Check.
Blank Check, and then mine was Hot Shots Part 2.
And also, I said RoboCop, you said Hot Shots Part 2. She was trying to remember, and I was like, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me. You guys were like, And I was like, okay, Twin Peaks, The Return. No one cared.
Blank Check. Yep.
Blank
that's
Check.
it.
Love it.
There is a thing between him and one of these other dudes. Hodges, I think, is what I determined this character was.
I want to say
There's
Hodges
the two
is
dudes
the
who die
one with
first.
the beard, no mustache.
Yeah, I think that's Hodges because the other guy played
Oh,
Fat
you talking
Cop.
about this fella here just trying to talk like that? Ping.
Yep. It
Yep.
doesn't
That
look
guy
like it.
right there, they call me McBride.
Because there's Hodges.
he's
No,
not
McBride's
McBride.
the bearded one with the full mustache. Who am I?
Yeah, McBride.
Hodges.
I'm
McBride
Hodges?
is, McBride is BJ, low budget Chris Pratt.
Oh.
Well,
I'm Hodges.
but I think because like Hodges and Osborne are the two who die
Yeah,
first.
and they're also. I was like, they're together, so it doesn't really matter.
I'm going to send my
Yeah.
son all this money I make on this oil rig, and maybe one day he can open a farm. What kind of farm?
Ooh.
But
Oh.
there's a thing with Hodges talking to Miguel Ferrer when they first see him, and he's like, "Hey, I've got something queued up on your video player in your room or whatever. Is it Miss September?" And so these guys are jerking off in the same room at different times.
Yeah. Is it wet? Yeah. Is it ripe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Jack, just so you know, I've got this really sweet porn I put in your DVD player. It's on the best scene. because I only made it halfway through.
Hey, also, I warmed up your bed. There's a huge butt imprint, and it's real hot and sweaty from when I was cranking it in your bed all day.
Just don't put your hand to the left about 1.5 feet. I shot.
You don't have a black light, do you? Okay. Whew, thank God. Because it is going to be a mess. It's like a Spencer's Gifts in here.
You boys are gross.
Yeah, we are. Dude, you'd be just as disgusting if yours went everywhere.
But this guy
Who says it
Hodges,
doesn't?
Most porns.
this guy Hodges, this guy Hodges is played by a guy named Tom Bray, who was in Prince of Darkness, which is a great John Carpenter movie.
It just doesn't sound like you're done speaking. Tom Bray.
Yep, Tom Bray.
Tom Braginger? Tom
Brady?
Tom Bray? Tom Brady?
No, in this they
Tom Brady?
No, in this they inflate things. They don't deflate them.
This harpoon actually takes a bunch of air out of the balls.
But I just want to mention it because
Derek made a sports reference just so you fucking guys know.
I've seen South Park. So
It's always that or basketball, dude. It's always Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
they are why I know what sports are.
You know what? Did you learn that from Howard Cosell? No, Trey Parker. Howard Cosell, yeah.
But I want to mention it because this guy, Tom Bray,
D.
shows up in House 3. And then the other guy, Osborne, who's played by a guy named Ron Carroll, he was in Friday the 13th as the fat cop, but he was also in House and House 2 as policeman and deputy, respectively.
So we've
Well,
got
then.
all four of them covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this movie, we've got all 4 House movies covered.
Wow.
Damn. Got you.
But
Same company producing them, maybe?
probably.
It wouldn't
maybe.
surprise me because sometimes they do that. Like, I like this guy in this movie. He works for cheap and he knows how to keep his mouth shut and do his job. He doesn't mind if we have like craft services, Fruity Pebbles, and no milk.
I think it also comes down to, we mentioned how nobody knows
Heathen.
who any of these people are. I mean, Miguel Ferrer had been in RoboCop before this.
yeah,
but
as
barely.
yeah, I was gonna say very small role.
He's just a very recognizable guy.
He is.
And these other guys, I mean, like I said, he was Fat Cop. He was whatever. These guys are just guys that are going to be in they'll be in your $8 million movie.
For sure.
Like
They don't need a trailer.
Yeah. And then we meet Scarpelli, not Scalpelli. I said it wrong.
No, we said Scapelli because of Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, that's why I
Scarpelli.
said Scapelli too, because
Yeah.
I can't remember anything.
It is Scarpelli, but I don't think we're gonna call her that from
Nope.
here on
Her
out.
name is Nia Peoples.
Or, as I said, Pia Neebles.
Pia Neeples.
Pia Neeples.
Well, because Pia is like, that's not a real name. Oh, we've done Voyage of the Rock
Zadora.
Aliens. It sure is.
and Neeples is definitely a last name.
And in
Yeah,
the
it
future,
is.
we'll see Pia Zadora again.
Ooh.
what are we doing
Santa
there?
Claus Conquers the Martians.
Oh God, yes.
Is that a Christmas time movie?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of these days. I just got it on Blu-ray.
Of course you did.
We got a year.
But she was in a lot of Fame, the show Fame. It's the high school.
Fame!
Yeah, the high school.
Yeah, I know it.
The precursor to Glee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
And Walker, Texas Ranger, and then a bunch of soap operas.
Walker told me I had AIDS.
That's fucked up.
Have you seen that clip? It's Haley Joel Osment as like a young actor, and he's just like, it's just him staring. He's like, Walker told me I have AIDS. It's so awesome. We'll show it to you.
Okay.
Arizona Beer House, 33 taps, 800 plus cans and bottles. You can do it for here. You can do it to go. You can do whatever you want, except that.
That's right, Arizona Beer House at 150 South Kolb in Tucson, Arizona.
Sunday, 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 and every other day of the week.
Open 11 a.m. to midnight.
We're going to say the whole can, but you're only going to need the tip.
I need the tip.
Hey, guys, I don't want to sound needy here.
I'm
or anything,
needy.
But we have a Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople.
Mm-hmm.
And it only costs $3 a month.
$3 a month is nothing.
And I know times are hard right now.
Real hard for me.
Inflation's up.
Oh.
You can't afford your groceries.
Can't eat.
But you can afford $3 a month if you love us.
Give us $3.
Super love us.
Please
Yeah.
love us.
We're not begging.
I'm begging.
We're not pleading.
I'm pleading.
We're not down on our knees.
Oh boy,
I mean-
my knees hurt. They've been on so long.
But we do kind of need the money.
I need the money bad.
We need new equipment.
New equipment. We need to do remote podcasts for all of you.
I wouldn't mind eating.
We need to have video.
I wouldn't mind eating.
We need more drinks.
Food sounds good.
So please check out patreon.com/worstpeople.
Please check us out.
You get a bonus episode every month, and we're going to have more content coming for you.
I'll send you pictures.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Please give me more.
Patreon.com/worst
I'm being held hostage here. If I
people.
don't pay my way out of here, they're going to kill me.
He's like, fuck this cavern. Destroy it so we can put the missiles in. They're like, it's awfully deep. It might cause some problems. He's like, there's no
Name your
possible
sex
way
tape.
it could cause problems. All these people showed up with cameras. There's no possible way that blowing this cavern up is going to cause a problem.
Yeah.
So they go to destroy it. Oh, I do want to mention real quick. It's a stupid little thing, and it's just kind of showing, like, I guess the chemistry of the group or whatever, because it has no purpose. This guy Richardson, the one from Seinfeld you were talking about.
Yes, plays McCoy or played
He
by
is,
his
McCoy.
name
yeah,
is
Matt
McCoy.
McCoy is
Yes.
his name.
So he's also I knew him as a Ute. We had Police Academy
7.
6.
Is it 6?
City Under Siege is number
Okay.
6. He plays, I guess, replacing Gutenberg, really.
Mm-hmm.
As a different character. But yeah, he plays Lloyd Braun, the second iteration of him on Seinfeld. Once he gets done with his mental breakdown.
I also saw that he's in Silicon Valley, and he's in that movie National Security.
I would be shocked if he has under 246 roles.
I don't think he had that many. Like, literally the two I recognized, and I didn't. There were only about a dozen people in this, so I went through all their stuff. So I didn't even get to Seinfeld. So
I
it's
just
possible.
feel like
I
this
wrote
dude-
down Silicon Valley and National Security because I knew both of those existed.
What's Is that Steve Zahn?
That
National
was
Security? Sorry to make you work more.
I took these notes like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Matt McCoy, I hit filmography, and he is at 134.
Oh, yes. National Security was Martin Lawrence, Steve Zahn, Bill Duke's in there.
Bill Dukes acted with Steve Zahn, and I didn't know about it. You couldn't talk about it more yin and yang.
Well, we'll do it. It's from 2003. It's not good. It has an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon. So who
Ooh.
knows what these ratings are doing?
Bill Dukes is a very terrifying black dude from Predator that keeps dry shaving his face with that razor.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
The razor or the knife?
Razor. Like he
I'm-
just has like a yellow disposable bic and just keeps dragging it across his sweat face. He's the
I'm-
black dude that's not Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
He also directed the movie Deep Cover, which is a fucking amazing movie.
He's a terrifying human being.
But I'm concerned because I pulled up National Security to double check because I thought it was Martin Lawrence, but I couldn't remember. I was like, is that the one with Robert De Niro? And no, that's Midnight Run. Anyway, when I pulled it up on Google, a thing came up at the top: safe search, off, blur, or filter. All I typed was National Security.
Uh-oh.
What do I need to blur?
You are on a watch list,
I'm
my
gonna go to
friend.
images.
No, don't do it. We're gonna get swatted so fucking
Yeah,
hard
we
right
are.
now.
No, they're just like NSA logos and pictures from the movie National Security. I don't know why I have to blur anything. I'm gonna click blur and see what gets blurred. This is just becoming the Derek Googles Things podcast.
Yeah, no shit. We need video for this crap.
Nothing is blurred.
Prank
I
caller,
don't-
prank caller.
I guess they're just like, oh, there's something that's blurred. They're flags at the military cemetery.
Okay.
I don't. Okay. Anyway, Google's dumb.
Yeah, that's an odd one.
Yeah. I'm sure if it was like national security and another word. So there's
Yeah,
just,
I didn't
like-
even think about it. I didn't put like national security movie. I just put national security, not even thinking that now I'm on a list.
On a watch list.
I've been on some.
Yeah,
so
you
it's fine.
definitely have. You read the Anarchist Cookbook, you salty dog.
Yeah, that was at my parents' house. They're on a
Yeah, they
watch
can't
list.
track that.
They're on a watch list now.
They know. They know you moved out, dude.
Do they? Because they keep sending them mail saying, "Hey, Derek, you want to sell your house?"
My
It's a trap.
parents keep getting letters in my name asking if the person can buy the house that my parents have owned since before I was born.
That's weird.
Since
Yeah.
1981.
It's weird. But yeah, so don't destroy the cavern. Fucking British guy is like, shut the fuck up and do it.
Oh, I'm gonna do it, innit?
That's not the imperialist one, but that's what I got.
That's we're doing Cogni more than anything.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
Cogney's
Oh,
funny.
but I was gonna mention the garbage disposal thing. Richardson. That's why I brought this. That's why all
McCoy.
this happened.
Oh yeah.
Richardson, Matt McCoy. The garbage disposal is
It's
fucked
one
up.
of the few laughs in this movie they wanted me to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's like, it's Pia Nepals sitting there, and he's like, here, give me your pen, I'll get this thing unstuck. She's like, no, fuck you, and he's like, I'll give it right back. Sticks it in the garbage disposal and shit, and like it shreds the fucking shit out of the pen.
But it fixes the disposal.
Fixes the disposal, don't it?
Fixes the disposal.
And he gives it back to her all shredded, and she's like, "What's wrong with your pen?" He's like, "Well, nothing. I don't go around sticking it in garbage disposals." She was pretty funny.
It was.
Yeah. It's flirtatious too.
Speaking of flirtatious, we go to Pia Neeple's shower scene.
Is this after her hard
Yeah.
workout scene?
Yeah,
Like an unnecessary, but I mean, I find her very attractive, so I'm not mad at it. But it's
She's
just
blowing
like,
off steam because the Van Gogh guy is like, "No, you do what I say. Don't do your job."
his name is Van Buren. Act like
Mario
you've been
Van
there.
Peebles.
No, I get what you're saying. It's just like a weird thing where it's just a tight shot in her like delightfully sweaty
Yeah.
belly, and just like right behind her doing this rowing machine thing, and it's just like, that's cool.
She's like, "Fuck you."
We don't-
I'm
So
gonna
Sean S
fuck."
Cunningham has a thing for chicks who are working out or like buff.
Yeah.
Because it's like the stomach, which is a thing, like I get it, because it's like it's the stomach and the chest.
I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna,
Trying to see all
I'm
that.
gonna come all
But
over
then
that.
it goes to the shoulders, and it's just like, look at these shoulders, and I'm like getting flashbacks of
The big hit.
No,
No.
substitute.
The
no,
substitute?
what's her name? God damn it, I can't think today. The very famous person who was in Star Wars and played a queen,
Cynthia Rothrock. Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh.
Getting hard flashbacks of that because those still started coming out, and I was like, do I like buff chicks?
Yeah.
You married
well,
me, so
I
Yeah,
never
but
thought I did, and I just think I just discovered something.
I mean, rewatching all these American Gladiators episodes, I'm like, oh, okay.
she could crush me with those thighs.
I wish I
I'm
was
a
a
big guy. I
watermelon.
want someone who can throw me.
Yeah, dude. I'm 6'2", 250. If you can pick me up and throw me, we're having a good time.
But she's in there showering, and the thing shuts off because they have X amount of water rations, which makes sense. I feel like the girl with long hair should get like an extra 30 seconds.
I
but
agree.
It's me. And Richardson comes in, and he's like, maybe you could convince someone to give you their key card. And I was like, oh, this guy's trying to get sex for water, not realizing that clearly they're already fucking.
You've been fucking.
Yeah.
Yep.
And later it comes up because she's like, I've been keeping you on this diet, and you're just going to throw it away for a greasy hamburger.
He's like, I
So
can feel
she's
my
been not only
arteries.
fucking, but like, have some celery, dude. I care about you.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's her love language. Healthy
Yeah.
food.
Well, if she wants me to eat celery, she should put it next to hot wings.
That's what I do.
And then I'll look at it.
No, I eat it. I drag it across the sauce.
I had at least 3 of those 8 celery sticks.
Depends
You
on
eat
the
the
counts.
carrots.
Yeah.
I eat
Depends
the
how good
celery.
they are.
Carrots are better.
Not for you.
No.
It's fine.
Carrots are much better cooked. Celery's much better raw. That's just how it goes.
Celery is not good either way, but it's not bad. It's just nothing.
No, it's something. Yeah, obviously, I'm gonna make you ants on a log next time we
I've had
drink.
ants on. I was once 8 also.
I wasn't. I skipped that one.
But so yeah, we get fire in the hole. They're blowing up this cavern, and the whole
It's a STD, isn't it?
You move. That's far enough. You guys backed up far enough.
yeah, they back up like 4 feet off the ledge of this thing. They're like, it'll be fine.
I was worried about debris. Like just
Yeah.
like I mean, you're blowing up coral and
Yeah.
and magma rock, like or what do you call it? Volcanic rock.
Magma.
Magma. Like this is gonna be some shrapnel. I know you're in a fucking submarine bulldozer, and that's a thing that just is a thing. Like I know you're in a submarine bulldozer, but come on, are you wasting fuel by backing up more?
Yeah.
No, get the fuck
like,
out of here.
Come on.
Well, and she told them it was a huge cavern.
Is there an OSHA ocean or OSHA?
Yeah.
It's just called Ocean.
Ocean.
Oceana.
Underwater OSHA.
No, government doesn't exist underwater.
That's where they're putting missiles down there. Holy shit, it's a free for all.
Yeah. It's what is it? International waters.
There's no sanction downstairs.
There should be.
Say that again.
There's no sanction downstairs. Just
But
to
they don't back up enough. The cavern was big, like she said. So the whole thing, he's like, the sea floor is giving way. And I'm like, no, it's the giant cavern that the woman told you not to blow up.
Yeah.
But she's not only a woman, she's also not white. So no one listened to her.
She is a hot non-white woman.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that she's supposed to be good for is masturbating to.
Yeah.
When
she
she's
can't be
writing, she's
smart.
got these big ass 80s glasses
Oh,
that she's
dude.
wearing. And I'm like,
She's
ooh.
all right. So she's a smoke show all the way through with the glasses on, that little nerd bun up. Yeah, please. Yeah. I
It's
wish
not
she-
even a kink unlocked. It's a kink I knew.
Yeah, no, not unlocked.
And
just
I'm
like
like exploited.
refreshed.
kink satisfied.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers to that,
Yeah,
brother.
cheers.
I didn't get to tell you. I told Whitney. I got a phone call from Lady Gary Busey the other day.
Yes,
Come
he
again?
did.
I was at work. Phone rang. Picked it up. She goes, I think I have the wrong number. Sorry. And hangs up. And I was just like, what?
Call back right now.
What do you know about chickens and their teeth?
Did you happen to look at the name on the caller ID?
There was no name. Just a
Yeah,
phone
it
number.
said G. Busey.
It said Garolina?
Gail?
Gail. That's a woman's name. Garolina's not a real name.
I know, I was blanking on G female names.
Jesus Christ. Cheese and rice.
Georgia? That's a state.
That's also a
It's
name.
also a name.
Oh, okay. Is that who Ray Charles was singing about?
Gina, Gina,
Gina-
Georgia,
Gina?
Gina.
Jennifer.
Sup? Yeah, I'm trying to. You got a real soft face.
But yeah, so the thing collapses and they get away without falling in, which we find out is pointless later because this bulldozer turns into a submarine and they could have just detached.
Yeah, detached from the.
But we also find out that Garibaldi is a fucking stickler for, well, money.
Yeah.
Because they lose this remote drone and they're freaking out about it, let alone this fucking remote tank treads.
Yeah. I guess they probably have other drones. They probably don't have other tank treads.
Right.
Yeah.
But they lost the. Yeah, because
Remote.
they lost the remote and they
Yeah.
were going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, they send it in, and this what we see, like kind of it's a cool looking underwater shot of like this otherworldly kind
Yeah.
of place. It's like you see the magma,
Magma.
and you see like stalactites and stalagmites, so I don't have to know the difference, and all kinds of stuff going on, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks cheap as fuck, but it looks cool.
Yeah. No, it's fine. For an $8 million movie?
And I am gonna say, while this movie is definitely not the best one we did this month, it's probably the worst one we've done this month. I felt the Sean S Cunningham Friday the 13th horror movie vibes, even though it wasn't as scary as some of the other stuff we
I
did.
felt them trying.
Yeah.
I felt them
I
trying for
didn't
scares.
at all.
No, it's not scary. It doesn't have the right atmosphere, but like the way like his angles and the way things were being shot, and there's, I don't know. It felt like I was watching a Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, we
movie.
don't even get to see the monster until what was it?
1 hour and 7 minutes, you get a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
And then 1 hour and 16 minutes, you get a look at it.
Yeah. And they did a lot of work on that
Yeah,
monster.
it
And they
was
show it.
dope.
I mean, it gets a minute and a half of screen
We talked
time.
about how like you filmed like you were embarrassed of it.
Yeah.
Like other movies, we've seen much worse monsters on this goddamn podcast that got more screen time.
Were they trying to do like a Jaws thing and be like, it's even more terrifying when you
It's
only get a
probably a little
glimpse?
bit of it.
But
It's
the
like,
Jaws
oh.
thing was out of necessity because that robot looked like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it ended up being forming this trope of like, which I mean is a good
guess.
thing. Is
it's-
like most of the time it's like don't show, but I feel like they just didn't go enough.
Uh,
Like I understand you wait. Don't show it to us till an hour 10 into this, hour 37-minute movie. Cool.
Yeah,
But then I
yeah.
want to see it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like they lose the drone and he's like, oh, Van Gelder's gonna shit a kitten if we don't go down there and get this thing.
Hold on, man.
Did
Shitting
these two
kittens?
going off for like 10 minutes about shit and kittens?
It's great.
I'm
I mean,
sitting
it's
in
just
between
such
them.
a-
Oh, you mean us? I thought
Yeah.
you meant the two guys on the movie. I was like, no, they
No.
said it once.
What
You
a fucking
two.
phrase, dude. Shat a cat. Like, I'm shitting over here.
Wow.
But so they detach from the
Can't
tank
get a
treads.
courtesy flush? Jesus. Deep
But-
Shat 6.
So they detach from the tank treads and they go after it.
Detachable tank.
And this is the feed that I actually like going through. I didn't like the robot feed.
The fat cop from Friday the 13th is getting the heebie-jeebies. He doesn't like caves. And they get like this sonar contact, something coming at them real fast. And this fucking
cut
sub,
to every movie we've seen this month
yeah,
where it's like it's an unbelievable speed.
yeah.
Their take on sonar was fun. Did you
Yeah.
notice that?
I like
I
that little globe.
It's like an Epcot Center.
Yeah.
It's the Epcot Center that
Yeah.
like breathes kind of thing.
yeah.
Instead of just that normal circle with the green lines.
Instead of a flat
going
2D, it's a
going
3D.
counterclockwise.
Yeah, even though the way the dot moved was still just 2D, but
Sure.
they had that cool 3D thing, so it was supposed to be a little
Somebody
bit more
was trying
futuristic.
something there.
Yeah.
Like it's not the best movie ever made, obviously.
I still love
That's-
going back to movies from
Waterworld.
the 70s and 80s and looking at technology. I mean, go back and watch that first Alien movie, and it's like they just assumed computers would never get better.
Yeah.
Because this is like banks of like hard drives and big hard buttons and switches.
They could,
Star
and,
Wars.
like-
they could not fathom. Well, Star Wars doesn't really ever show the technology of their computers.
you do see lights and stuff, but they don't really show.
They're
like,
fucking the pew pew.
The targeting system.
Thank you.
For
system.
sure. But I think what
That
Derek's
still
saying
looks
is
better.
like
That was Missile Command. It's fine.
we couldn't imagine
Or
storage
Tank Zone.
getting smaller. Look, Derek has more memory right here in these two
Yeah,
orange
those are
flash
2
drives
terabytes.
than it took us to get to the moon.
Those are 2
Like there's more
terabytes.
computing power right here on this recording studio than when we had to get our people to the moon.
on this little
That's
4x4 table.
That's insane to me.
Yeah,
It is.
Shit, there's more computing power than that in my fucking cell phone.
Absolutely. With our 3 cell phones, can we get to the moon?
Yeah.
As I take my pants down on moon, you guys. If this was a physical comedy podcast, do
Good
we
thing you
get-
didn't bring your camera.
Do you think we
today.
can get to the moon? I don't think we can. Watch this.
You'd have to, but in the comfy chair you're in, you'd have to like push it back and
No,
get up.
no. I would turn and just hold on to this with my front.
And the whole chair just goes over.
Hey, I died the way I lived, man. Trying to show my ass.
There
Well,
you
we
go.
do get redneck guy whose names I've forgotten already.
Oh,
Toby.
Connell?
Hodges?
Hodges.
Hodges, that's
But he's
right.
like, look at the size of that thing, and that's the
Dang,
last thing
dang,
we
dang,
hear
dang.
before they fucking disappear from this movie.
He was looking at his co-pilot's dick.
Whoa.
Look at the size of that thing. You ain't gonna put. Oh,
And then we get Collins and is it Collins and BJ? No, Collins.
And
Uh,
McCoy?
Oh,
no, McCoy's the actor. There's no character.
no,
McCoy.
it's
Right?
Yeah, but
it's the Russian.
oh,
Bursiaga is apparently the character name. Don't think we ever heard that.
nope.
nope.
But Elias Baskin is the actor.
Okay.
It's Collins and him on the ship that was like the home ship for the smaller ship. It's the smaller ship for the smaller ship.
So you have the big sea lab, then you have a large ship, and then you have the sea cat, which is the bulldozer.
Yeah.
And then apparently another
It's a
sea
Russian
cat.
nesting doll.
Well, they called it sea something else. I don't
Scat?
know.
Deep Star
Sea
6
scat.
is the big one,
Yeah.
and then sea scat, and then sea cat, and then sea scat run.
Elias Baskin is the actor. And again, like I said, he's Spider-Man's landlord in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man
The
movies.
third one, right? Or
Oh, he's
second,
in all of them.
2 and 3.
When he
No,
moves
he
out.
moves
in all
out. He
three?
moves out in the first one. He's in all 3 of them.
Okay, I haven't seen those in a long fucking time.
He also pops up in Air Force One.
No, not
So,
surprising.
Yeah.
He's got to get off that plane.
I'm sure he's a good guy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. There's no way he's working with Gary Oldman.
But yeah,
Bro, would you like me to adjust your seat before this ride?
and something crashes into their ship and tries to push it into the cavern. It doesn't do that, but it does drop a suitcase, a large, like pelican case on fucking.
It's a
Spider-Man's landlord.
futuristic steamer trunk.
Yes.
So Spider-Man's landlord has been crushed, and
He can't feel his legs. And
Collins-
he's knocked the fuck out.
Sorry, we talked about this while watching, and I don't think we ever got an answer. We don't know what year this is supposed to take place. It could
No.
be 89, just kind of technologied up. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, because
Maybe.
it's the styles of the 80s. The only thing that makes me think it's not 89 is we have a Russian guy.
Well, and also no one's smoking a cigarette.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. There's no smoking signs everywhere.
But
It's because it's pure oxygen.
again, going back
Ooh,
to
yeah,
Alien,
putting in work.
going
You're
back to Alien, those motherfuckers are smoking.
Yeah.
You show me a movie where Harry Dean Stanton isn't smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, because remember.
Just watched Down Periscope again because my cat loves it. Harry Dean Stanton smoking on that submarine.
Maybe that's just him. He needs to smoke.
Yeah.
He's got cigarettes that don't combust.
Did I tell you Harry
This
Dean
is the
Stanton's
original
in Down
e-cig.
Periscope? Because that's how I should lead with you.
Yeah, you should.
I should.
Anytime Harry Dean Stanton's in a movie, you tell me about a movie, I'm like, yeah, all right.
we were talking about Santa Claus and Muscles, and I was like, oh yeah, it sounds like a pretty shitty movie we should watch with Terry Hulk Hogan. Went through the fucking actors. It's got Clint Howard. It's got Clint Howard.
Yeah, that'll get me.
Yep.
Terry Hulk Hogan as Santa will pull me in.
Clint
Howard
will get you
will
there
cinch it.
faster. It gets you there faster, dude.
And Harry Dean Stanton will cinch everything faster than anything.
We got to have a movie with Harry Dean Stanton and Clint Howard, right?
It's got to be.
Have to.
Have we had Harry Dean Stanton on the podcast yet? Yeah, I have to go back and think about it, but that'd be bizarre. 100 and whatever we're on,
18.
127 episodes of this one.
Yikes.
No Harry Dean Stanton.
This is my second longest relationship.
But so Spider-Man's landlord gets crushed. BJ and the captain have to go down to try to save the ship.
BJ and the Captain is such a terrible 80s band.
And they got a dad joke laugh out of me here because BJ and the captain are doing all their systems checks, and he's like, check the oxygen, check the pressure, whatever. And he's like, Henway check. I was like,
What's a Henway?
Yeah, about 3 to 4 pounds.
I've used this joke many times. There was a young bagger girl at the Fry's I go to, and she was trying to get me with the up dog joke. She's like, check out the special on the up dogs. And me being who I am, like, you ain't get me on a fucking up dog. So I was like, oh, is that anything like the Henway? And she's like, oh, what's a Henway? Same thing, 3-4 pounds. She was elated.
Like Whitney mentioned, Spider-Man's landlord can't feel his legs.
You ain't got no legs.
It's his delivery. The reason I wrote this line down is his delivery. He's like, my legs, I can't move them. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
You should sound more concerned.
Yeah. Just
Maybe?
easy peasy. And even she's like, I've seen worse. She's like, no, you haven't. That's French, but either way.
I might have done French too.
Yeah.
It's
My
funny.
legs, I cannot feel them.
I cannot feel my legs.
I am Russian, you know.
How am I supposed to do the splits if
Are
I
you-
can't feel my legs?
I was like, are you JCVD
That's-
playing Russian?
like, I cannot do splits if I cannot feel legs.
I cannot feel my legs because they are out to each side of me right now.
Well, if it was JCVD, he's definitely playing American. That's an American accent. So the contact is now closing in on BJ and the captain. He left the bear behind, and they realize like something's coming in fast. They shut off the lights. They slow down their speed, and the thing loses them. So it's tracking things that are moving.
Yeah. Well, because it's been fucking trapped
Yeah.
forever. Because I don't know if we got to it. Somebody talked about there being liquid hot magma active. Like this cavern was created by magmas 100 years ago, and it's possible life forms got trapped under here. This thing just wants to play. It's excited.
They do mention at one point, is it a whale? And they're like, it couldn't be this deep. So like, there's not supposed to be things this big.
Right.
But again, with the magma. And
But
the
Nipples
heat and
said that yes, there's
Nipples.
Nipples.
I said what I said. There's undiscovered life forms down there. We need to check it out.
Holy shit! It's just like Sphere, dude. This fucking movie I hate.
So
Where-
much better than Sphere.
It's so much better, but it's this thing that doesn't know how to play.
You know why it's so much better
thinks
than
it's
Sphere?
playing.
107 minutes,
Yeah.
not
Oh,
293 minutes or whatever.
But
that
side
movie
by
was.
side, dude, if I showed you a fucking cast list of these movies, you would just straight up be like, let's watch Sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you'd be wrong.
yeah, I'd be very
You'd
wrong.
be very wrong.
You know, Dustin Hoffman's one of those famous people, but like when I start thinking about his movies, I'm like, what did he actually do?
I can give you some, dude. Like,
The
all right,
Graduate.
I mean, The
uh,
Graduate, Marathon
Little
Man.
Big Man. I know we talked to you, didn't see it, that it's amazing.
Meet the
But I mean,
Fockers.
Meet the Fockers, yeah. Rain Man, yeah. I just had one in my head Dick Tracy.
Hook.
Oh, he
Hook.
is in Dick Tracy.
Hey, Mumbles. And Hook is maybe my favorite thing he
Yeah,
does.
and I think that's the most acting I've ever seen Dustin Hoffman
But
do.
I never saw, what is it, Midnight Cowboy?
Oh, what is the
Midnight Cowboy is a good one. I forgot about that too.
Kramer
I
versus
never-
Kramer? Was
Walking
that Dustin
Here.
Hoffman?
Yeah, that's
Sure.
Dustin Hoffman. Oh, Straw Dogs. Straw Dogs is another good one. Sam Peckinpah, 1971. But that's another, like, he's in good stuff, but a lot of times he's
Oh
just
shit! Did we forget Tootsie? Did we just
Oh,
not
yeah.
say fucking Tootsie?
I
Yeah,
don't
think
think
it's
I've
just-
ever actually seen Tootsie.
the
Guys.
thing that got him probably the most famous.
I thought The
maybe-
Graduate
The
got
Graduate.
him famous.
I mean, The Graduate launched him.
I bet
There's
you
a
Tootsie
famous-
is his highest grossing movie.
Well, Meet the Fockers is probably his highest grossing movie, unfortunately.
Judge for inflation.
Yeah.
Or just for inflation.
So BJ and the captain show up. Spider-Man's landlord is dead. They go to rescue Collins.
What a way to sum up a fucking other movie.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best things I've ever seen out of all these underwater movies we've watched. And
No, we already talked
underwater,
about the sweaty workout scene.
but underwater in space, I always have the same thought. There's always a hatch that closes and no one can open it.
Oh yeah.
We saw it in the Abyss. The door closes and
Multiple
his
times.
titanium ring keeps it open.
Yeah, multiple times that happened. You couldn't open it at all because the power was out or on the fritz.
Yeah, and there's no manual option, and it never made sense to me.
I love this.
This fucking they have to plug in like a thing to this gear and like crank this handle, and it's
yeah.
a big pain in the ass, but they can do it.
It's like a chuck key. It's like
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
three. Yeah.
And they open this hatch, and they're trying to get Collins in.
I called it though. I was like, that hatch is closing on him.
Oh,
the
like-
captain is sitting there with his arm through the thing, and we were all waiting for his arm to get chopped off, right?
And we were half right. It wasn't.
Someone
his
said
arm.
legs.
No, we said
because so he goes in. We see the gear, the latch
latch.
on the gear. We see the gear start to crack, and they're not seeing it because they're worried about living. And Collins gets through the hatch, BJ gets through the hatch, And then the captain goes to go back through the hatch, and he started sliding through, and we saw the gear crack. So that's what someone here was like, oh, there go the legs instead of the arms.
Oh, that's right.
No. Mid-torso.
Yep.
And it hits him, and he's just like, my back's broken.
I guess that's one of the 2 times we thought legs and it was all torso.
Yeah.
We'll get to
Yeah.
that. But yeah, the captain right away is like, dude, fucking save yourselves.
He
And
knows. He's like,
BJ
get the fuck out.
Yeah, BJ's like, no, I can't let you die. You're like a father figure to me. This captain, ballsy ass move is like, watch this. Hits a fucking button, flood the cabin, like, get the fuck
Yeah, because
out.
they're in like the airlock thing between their rescue ship and this ship.
Yeah.
So it starts flooding with water, and BJ keeps trying to save him. And when he's underwater, that's when I was like, is Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
It looks an
Yeah.
awful lot like Chris
He's
Pratt.
got a crispy rat.
But like, yeah, he can't get him loose. And I mean, obviously the captain is dead at one point because his body's just like flailing
But
around.
he's trying.
a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man dude, at one point.
What is he advertising down there?
Join the Navy. It's a fun adventure.
Join the Navy. You are meant to die.
You're welcome.
So BJ and Collins get back to their ship and close the door, and he's all sad, but she's like, dude, what were you going to do?
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah. Even if you could save him, he's half the man he used to be.
And this is the
Half
part where
man I used to be. Can't leave me to sing, especially
Why
with the
not?
allergy stuff
Why
going on.
not? That was
was
great.
awful.
I
That
liked
was
it.
amazing.
That was-
Dude, cut, print, wrap, vinyl.
I'm telling you right now on the post production, I'm going to put some auto tune in there and fix it up.
You gonna T-paint it?
but this is so BJ's like a soaking sweater, right?
Oh, yeah.
But takes it off and gives it to Collins.
He's like, oh, you look cold. Well, his sweater also looks incredibly
wool.
dry.
Right? It's wool.
His hair is wet. His arms are wet. His pants are wet. She's soaking wet. His sweater looks warm and cozy.
Yeah, it does. So she's getting checked out by the doctor, and the doctor's
Yeah.
got this wicked ass ultrasound wand, and that's why I'm like, this might be futuristic.
And I know we called her Connie, but that's like from Son-in-Law. It's the mom. It's Carla Gugino's mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I just want to make sure we know who that is. She looks so ratchet here.
She
I'm sorry,
does.
dude. Like she's not a terrible looking chick, but
That hair is
the
not doing it
hair
for her. It's
is not doing it
stringy.
for anybody. Feathered and teased red mullet.
No, go
Thank
fuck
you, no.
yourself.
Thank
I
you.
don't know. You
no.
just said it was doing it for Hector when we recorded that other thing.
Hector's isn't feathered and teased and red.
It's not red.
It's thick, luxurious, and Chicano.
Girly.
Okay.
Mullets.
But
He's got a great mullet, dude. If you can get, I'm sorry, hold on.
No,
Let me just.
I'm
If
pausing.
you can get a fucking mullet like Hector's, you do it. You owe it to society.
I love you, Hector. I don't love mullets.
I do. Maybe
I
'cause
do.
I played hockey.
There's
for a
one
long
mullet
time.
I love, and that's JCVD's fake mullet from Hard Target.
All right. Hector,
that's what Hector's looks like in
Hector,
real
here's
life.
what you do. You get a JCVD mullet.
He has it.
You got
It's
to. No, he's got to
beautiful.
shorten it and get the spiky shit going.
He
on.
does have the spiky.
He's got to
Yeah.
He's got to come in and insult your gumbo.
See
He's,
him
he's got to
without
put a lot
hat.
more gel in there.
How is the pint of oat and rye? A tragedy.
Why do
It
they call you?
tasted
Why do they call you
chubby.
Chance? They don't. Oh, you didn't finish that joke.
So we hear heartbeats, and then BJ's like, what the fuck was that?
That's our baby's heartbeat.
I thought they were gonna cover it up. Like the doctor and her gave a look, and then she was like, "That's our baby's heartbeat."
That is also P.S. the worst way to tell someone that you're pregnant.
Uh-huh.
Like, hey, we're in this life-threatening situation. That's our baby's heartbeat. You could just be like, hey, let's take a moment alone. Let me talk to you about something.
Yeah.
They don't have time. They're on a timeline. It's all about the time.
Men
Time.
don't know how women's body work. That's her period. You're hearing the heartbeat of her period because that's what it gets. And as soon as the guy
Essentially
hears,
what it is.
as soon as the guy hears period, though, he's like out of the
check
room.
out.
He's like, well,
He's like,
blood's involved. Heartbeat makes sense.
I'll be in the kitchen having coffee. You let me know when you're done with your lady parts. Is the womb still there?
And we didn't mention earlier, but Miguel Ferrero was like, he's
going crazy.
He's telling the doctor, he's like, you've got to figure out a way to get me topside. I've been down here too long. Supposed to be here 4 months, and now it's
months.
like 6 more or something
Yeah.
like that. And so here they find out like the decompression thing is postponed until they can recover the missiles and do whatever they need to do with these
Secure
missiles.
them, sure.
Yeah. And so he's not happy about it, but he goes to do what he's told to do. Tippy taps on the
He's
computer
a good soldier.
and he's like, hey, things were compromised or whatever, or what do we do if we need to abandon the missiles? I think is something like that. He says to the
He's
computer.
like, is it aggressive or is it natural?
Well, but he asked the computers about abandoning it, and that's when it's like, are you abandoning it because of something, aggression, or natural forces?
Yeah, natural forces, aggression, or what the fuck? Was the other one?
Maintenance, some shit like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember because it doesn't come up because he calls. He
Dr.
calls Collins
Connie.
and the
Dr.
doctor,
Mullet.
and he's like, "So was this thing a natural force or was it aggressive?" And they're like, "Well, it was. I mean, I guess it was aggressive." So he types in aggression.
It was an aggressive natural force. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what you don't do when you're dealing with a military computer and missiles are involved? Don't say you have to abandon your weapon because of aggression, because this is what happens.
Choice D, boredom. Just we're abandoning because we're kind of over this. I want to go up. I want to get a burger and a blowjob. I've been down
God,
here
that
this
sounds
whole
great.
fucking, doesn't it though? I've just been up here this whole time or down here this whole time. I'm kind of over this. It's not you. It's me. I'd like to see other missiles.
But the computer tells him, like, well, the solution for this is detonate the missiles. So he's like, cool, computer said it.
Hey.
Bleepity bloppity bloop. The missiles explode, and it's like a 40 kiloton explosion, something.
Did we mention that Vanderbeest wanted to? He was like, "Hey, do you need help with this, Skylar? What was his name? Sykes?
Snyder.
Do you need help with this, Snyder, or can you do it yourself?"
Miguel Ferrer is in
Yeah, Miguel Ferrer's how we're gonna know him.
All right, so Miguel,
Yeah. Do you need help with this? He's like, I fucking got it, dude.
And
He
you know what?
in fact did not have it.
He does lose his shit, and he does get people give him a hard time. He did what he was told.
he did.
They
He's
said
a good
go
Navy
do the
boy.
thing. He tippy tapped on the computer. The computer said blow up the missiles.
called for help.
Blew up the missiles.
He
Yeah,
called for help, dude. He was like, look, I got 3 options. Which one's a good one?
yeah. And they were like, leave us alone. We're in this weird dark room.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they were.
Pitch black except for a fucking cell
Screen?
phone camera light.
But yeah, so it's like, well, what happens when you displace water with 40 kiloton explosion? Concussion wave force 20.
Yeah,
That's something
okay.
they say.
No, I'm not a fucking scientist.
But yeah, so they all hold on. The fucking place gets rocked.
It's not even good acting as far as like the place
No.
shifting. It looks like us trying to fucking get up and get a beer after like fucking
Right?
15 of
After
them.
I
being
was
stuck
thinking
in
it
that
looks an
comfy
awful,
chair.
awful lot like Star Trek, the original series.
Uh-huh.
Where,
Brace
like-
yourselves.
Yeah, like they would just move the computer and everybody would be like,
Whoa!
whoa.
Wacky legs.
Well, at least the first season. They probably got better.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's-
I've only
it's-
watched the first season.
It's below them.
What, getting better at acting?
Yes.
Yeah, if you
Except
if,
for Leonard Nimoy.
if you watch William Shatner's career progression, it is below him to get
William
better at acting.
Shatner. And
gonna-
I am going to make a video
I'm gonna William Shatner.
with William Shatner with a cat face.
I'm gonna William Shatner a Catner. It's funny because I was saying Shatner like a joke, and then I realized that was his name.
That's just, yeah.
So-
Hey, you know what's funny? Shatner. Get it? Shatner. It's not a joke. That's his last name. No. Shatner.
But the lines for the decompression chamber are fucked up, so they can't decompress, so they can't leave. The only air left in the thing is the ambient air they have,
So they have 4 hours for that.
and the reactor is about to go supercritical.
In
It's
2
like
hours.
8 hours.
I think it said 8 hours.
Oh,
They had more time for the reactor. I know that much.
okay.
Yeah, and it was like, so again, we're right back to almost every other movie we've watched this month, other than Waterworld.
You have a clicking timeline.
Yeah,
for
and I mean
a
it's
time-
a good. You've
ticking
got to
clock.
yeah,
That's what
you've
I'm
got
trying
to
to
have the
fucking
ticking
say.
clock, right? It helps to move things forward.
30 minutes or it's free, bro.
But this is where I yelled that thing at the beginning that made no sense to anyone. I wrote it down because it was just funny. They say it like it's something we should understand, but he's like, we have to reroute BZN 17 to RTX 56 to fix the Greek decompression chamber.
You know what, dude?
Do it.
Fucking Rook 5 to Knight 4. Checkmate, bitch.
So Richardson,
Sure.
I don't know if somebody out there that knows chess is like, what the fuck did he just say? That is not.
That's
a
not-
thing.
that's not-
That's not.
That's
a
not how
thing,
rooks
dude.
move,
That's not
dumb.
how you can't even Rook 4 to Knight 5. I don't know.
whatever
I feel
you
like
just
it
said. I don't know. I don't know anything about
No, it wouldn't be.
I know very
before.
little about chess. Not nothing.
Life is a lot like chess.
I know that the knights
I
move
don't
in
know
an
how to
L.
play chess.
I think it's letters and numbers.
Yeah.
Most things are.
L7 weenie.
But so I may
Weenus.
have missed something in here, but for some reason, instead of just doing the thing right in the main room that BJ ends up doing later, they put Richardson in a diving suit to go do it.
Yeah, because it was out. It was.
We did chat a little bit during this part, but I think we missed something. He was supposed to go fix
the DXR7 13219.
maybe
but
he
BJ
did.
just ends up doing it from inside the chamber later.
Maybe he did do his part, but the inside didn't do their part.
Oh, maybe because as soon as he goes out,
Because Ferreira gives BJ shit.
You
He's like,
should have finished it.
yes, he's like, we don't have the tube on because of you.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking he did finish it. But either way, he gets put in this. I'm sorry, I'm not claustrophobic, but I guess I am to a degree. This suit looks terrifying.
Terror
it's
unlocked?
Just enough. Terror unlocked, dude.
Yeah, I mean, look at
Wiggle
the
room only.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Did you ever watch like the locusts crawl out of their little?
Pupil, what's it called?
Yeah.
Chrysalis.
Yeah, whatever. And there are these like little clawed things that come out, and then they connect to a wall, and then they cocoon out of them.
Oh, okay.
So chrysalis, I think that's what you're trying to
Yeah,
think of.
That's what I said.
That's what he
Chrysalis.
Oh,
She'll hear it in the recording.
I will. But that's what the way this armor is shaped, because they're like hunched over, and it's like
Well, it's an
rah.
old school diving suit with like the heavy, because it's a heavy pressure
You
situation.
played,
It looked metal.
BioShock.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
like, you played
It's
Bioshock
the
with
Big Daddies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Adam
just
Sandler?
you guys will if you're listening on a platform that has like the custom pictures that I put up for the episode, you'll see it because it's the poster of the movie.
Yeah, and it's based on a well, actually, you said it. You had said it like it's based on those old diving suits, but it's a better, more realistic version of the Abyss, because the
Yeah.
Abyss has these sleek, sexy ones.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have like the astronaut ones.
Yes.
Yeah, with
Yes.
that, and they,
like,
so they can have the lights on their face. And all, But this
Yeah.
isn't really a scene. Like they show them getting in it and going underwater and then coming back out.
You pretty
Uh,
much called it when you said it's like Men of Honor. No,
Men of Honor.
Men of Honor. Yeah, with the
old
Cuba
school,
Gooding,
yeah, old school diving suit, just pressurized more.
where there's somebody blowing into your ear.
Oh God! Oh God! Did you drink this morning, Scott? Good God!
I had Scott.
Is that Rumpleman's? What is wrong with you?
I wanted you to
Smells
have
like
fresh.
cinnamon in here.
It's hot Rumpleman's.
I wanted you to have fresh breath. Okay.
Oh,
Wait, Rumplemints is peppermint.
peppermint.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It smells like
Goldschlager.
something. It smells like something that shouldn't be alcohol.
Is that Goldschlager? There's gold flakes floating around my fucking helmet now, Scott. Go to bed. Get somebody else on the rope, dude. You've been partying. Who
Okay,
brought liquor
Shorzy.
on board?
You were so close to Shorzy. I loved it.
That's whoever this guy, diving guy is. That's what he sounds like. I don't
Yeah.
sound like that. This guy does, though. Fucking
Yeah,
Scott's over here breathing in Rumpleman's in my fucking tube. God.
Yeah, so
Give your fucking scuba tank a tug, you tit fucker.
that's what we needed.
Give your tether a tub.
God
tub?
damn it.
Damn it. And I said tub and fucked it all up.
Give your tether a tub. Oh no. I need my own catchphrase.
But so like Richardson goes in, something happens, he flips the fuck out. They're going to pull him out of the water and
And
like
he's saying don't. He's like, no,
No,
don't.
no. I think he's
no,
freaking
he was
out.
screaming saying, "Pull me
Get
out,
me out,
pull me
get
out."
me out. And everyone's like,
Oh.
calm down, we're getting you out, dude. What's
He's
the
like,
fucking...
do it now.
But then I think BJ, he's like, there's something in the airlock.
Oh, he's freaking the
And
fuck
they
out.
pull this
Something
dude
in
up
the
though, and his
air.
bottom half
It's gone.
And again, I thought it was gonna be just legs,
Yep.
but it's like above the belly button,
Yeah.
gone.
there's just goop hanging out of him.
Oh, dude, that was a gorgeous blood scene.
It
though.
was a good sticky goops.
Yeah.
I liked it.
And this is where we get our first glimpse of the monster, an hour 7 minutes in, and it like kind of pops out and goes back underwater,
Kind of
and
looked
then we
like
get
a
like
lobster
the
tail.
and then we get the trash compactor view of him.
Oh yeah, the Dianoga.
The Star Wars, yes. For people who don't know what I meant, the Star Wars trash compactor, where you just get the little, the hunch of the lizard that comes out. In that case, it's like a snake,
It's
but
not a lizard, it's a Dianoga.
Yeah, what
it's
he
a
said.
snake.
It's not a lizard.
Well, but I guess this thing's more of a crab.
No, lobster.
Whatever,
This
lobster,
is-
crab. You tell me the difference.
He walks
Oh,
forward.
besides
not
besides like
sideways.
$20 a pound.
I was like, hold on.
He walks
Hold on.
forward and not sideways.
Yeah, he's more of that slithery little.
The head is more of a
slitherer.
crab head, though.
I guess. I don't think this
Yeah.
is reminiscent of anything, dude.
It's an alien.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's
I loved
gotta
it.
be-
It was
It's got to be
gorgeous.
based on kind of something really, like a mutated version of.
Well, because like the mandibles open sideways and up and down. It
Oh,
was
it's
like
the
a
predator.
Kind of like the
Womp,
faculty,
womp.
except it doesn't have to open its own mouth with its hands.
Yeah.
I use my fingers to pry my lips open because my mouth is so dry.
But yeah, he ain't got no legs. And then Pia Naples gets killed too.
Just so
Uh,
unceremoniously.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so
Like
sad.
she just gets whipped into the water by like one of these stray fucking flailing tentacles. She gets whipped in and then just red blood. Like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
I mean,
just
first of all, we talk about this. What's this rated, by the way?
R.
Oh, god damn it, show me.
Yeah.
Like if it's rated R, I want to see at least like have parts of her body float up to the water.
Yeah, please.
Something,
Please.
You know, it's
you gonna
rated
tell
R.
me you couldn't afford
Also,
it?
why didn't we have boobs?
You know what? I'm okay with it not having boobs. I'm always gonna prefer it with boobs.
I
We
think
had a naked
there
shower
was, There was
scene.
that moment in the shower scene where she was showering and it was the front shot of her and the camera is like zooming outward.
They
And I
ain't
was like,
spending that.
here it comes.
They ain't spending that extra $75,000 for NERPs, dude. She's like, I'll do it. $75,000 right now.
They're like,
I'll show
damn
my
it.
boobs for 75 grand. Shit.
Especially what we're talking 89, $75,000.
What's that turn into? Like 1.2?
4.8 million?
Yeah, I think no. You're basically gonna be able to buy Twitter back
Okay.
if you show your boobs now with 89 money.
For $75,000 in 89 money, you can buy Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I already have an autistic husband. I don't need another one.
Yeah, but you don't have a guy running around screaming about killing pedophiles.
He's a pedophile.
I mean, I feel like we were screaming about killing pedophiles last week.
pedophile. I mean, we do often scream about that. Death to pedophiles.
That
I
was
don't
with
know
our
what-
that wasn't
Doro.
last week. That was a little while ago.
I'm pretty sure it was
That was
last
on that was
week.
on Clash of the Titans. That was last month.
Months ago.
Well,
Pedophile.
I go home and I open my filing cabinet. I start petting it. I pet my files.
pedophile.
But there's a short confrontation between BJ and Miguel Ferrer. Basically, because Miguel Ferrer, like you said, he's like, if you would have done your job, none of this would have happened. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, if you would have not blown everything up, none of this would have
we
happened.
also
And
sorry, we talked about we didn't talk about they grab weapons.
Oh,
Yeah.
you get that. What is that? That folded under.
Oh, it's a foldable stock. It's just for whatever reason, underwater, seawater, corrosion, we have these chrome shotguns.
because they look cool.
Sure.
And
Sure, I
then
prefer stainless steel,
and
man.
nitrous spears,
CO2 spears.
CO2 spears.
Shark. They call them shark spears later. We didn't know that.
I
but
said
it's
it was
these-
for killing sharks.
Well, you absolutely called it.
Yeah, because I was like, so it's a spear that you jab into something. It's got a CO2 cartridge and it blows it up.
Yeah.
Like inflates it. And I was like, and the practical application for this in your underwater diving or oil rig is
Yeah.
question mark.
So your wife was right. It's a shark thing, but still, to me, it doesn't make sense because you
Underwater
obviously-
pirates, man.
Underwater pirates and sharks.
Yeah.
Underwater pirates and sharks are two completely different things.
No.
It's
You're
the Navy.
misunderstanding her. It's like the street sharks, right? Except for they're also pirates now.
You can't snap underwater, dude.
No, not those kind of sharks. The ones from the cartoon Street Sharks. Where
Oh, I
they're
remember those.
They're anthropomorphic sharks,
Yeah.
but now they are also underwater pirates.
It's just ridiculous to think like we have these shark repellent spears. You also need a suit of armor to go in the water right now.
Yeah,
And
imagine
there's
that
no
putting
sharks
on-
down here.
Imagine putting on that suit and then trying to maneuver fast enough to stab a shark with a CO2 spear.
They said there was no life down here because they were that deep.
yeah.
So I mean, like, it doesn't make sense to have the shark spears here.
We don't know.
I don't know. Every once in a
I'm
while,
telling you.
every once in a while, someone swims up a couple 100 feet and stabs a shark, brings it down for stew.
Yeah, there we go.
Shark stew is a real good dish, dude. I heard it's a Finnish dish.
So BJ patches a bypass to a something or whatever,
Now they have what they need to be what they do.
but
Yes.
they're all in the room that's flooded that had the monster in it, and so they're all on edge. They start shooting at lights, much like
Oh, yeah,
Almost Heroes.
Dr.
It's a
Van
squirrel.
Steen.
It's got something in his hands.
Dr. Van Steen is the first one to shoot, and he's just like, bam, and then just no questions. Everybody just shoots right there.
I got nervous for BJ because when he popped up, the fucking doc was all
Dude,
like,
kabam!
oh, whoa, little fucking muzzle awareness, doc.
And there's like a noise that freaks them out, and Miguel Ferrer puts his spear up. Vander Splocken backs into it, and this just
Vander exploded now.
Oh,
Vander
his heart.
fucking Vander heart pop. I got nothing.
Dude,
This is disgusting, and it's
it
awesome.
was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like he gets poked with it, and everybody looks like, uh-oh. Nothing happens right away.
And then it's just
and then his left side of his chest
Maybe
just
he'll be okay.
puffs
Oh,
up,
nope.
and then just blurf.
Blurf indeed, my friend. That was a hefty blurfing.
Yes, it was.
And then we finally see the full monster, hour 16.
Rarg.
Miguel, they get away from it. Well, Miguel Ferrer has a freak out first off.
He pulls a Benny from Mummy where he leaves everybody behind and locks the door.
Well, not yet.
Not yet,
Oh,
but-
that part, yeah.
Oh.
No, he does leave and lock the
Oh,
door.
but
and
Collins
then
is with
the
him.
doctor
the
opens
doctor's like,
it.
"What are you fucking doing? Let him in, you cunt."
But he starts freaking out, and he's just like, I know you guys are blaming me for killing Vandersplaken.
I didn't kill my wife.
And I know you guys...
I know you think I killed my wife. I didn't.
And they're all like, we know it wasn't your fault. We saw what happened. He's like, no, you're blaming me. And da-da-da, flipping out. And so they drug him,
Yeah.
and
You guys
Dude,
should drug
BJ
me
gets a really
more.
good
he calms
neck hold on
down,
him.
but starts hallucinating and
Exactly.
sees all the horrors of the film. He sees Van Spiegen talking to him. He sees the bloody half of a man from Seinfeld hanging out of a suit. He sees shit exploding. Like he just has like
He
flashes.
keeps seeing the missile countdown or like the
Yeah.
questionnaire.
And they keep saying, like, we can't go to the
He's
top.
got-
We need to decompress.
He's got
Yeah.
seasickness. Michael
yeah,
Bean
I think,
Abyss.
Yes, I
Ocean
think he's
madness.
He's
I think
got
he's
ocean
crazy.
madness. Yeah, he just doesn't have the fucking tremors
It's
for
like
it,
space
but
madness, but in the ocean.
Get him out to Zawalta. He's got crazy eye.
Nah.
But yeah, so he jumps in the escape pod. Excuse you.
Oh my God. Something jumped out of your escape pod right now.
Pulled a Whitney
It
there.
didn't decompress. It just went straight up the top and exploded.
After his visions, he flips out. He jumps into the escape pod without decompressing. They're yelling at him. They're like, hey, don't fucking do that.
That's why that's how we know he's got
Ooh.
space madness, because like he knows. He said it before, we can't do it because we'll all die.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I gotta go. I have to go. I have to go.
So he jumps in the pod, launches it up, and we almost get what I was hoping for. Of course, they cut away at the money shot,
Yeah.
but again, it's a budgetary thing.
But we do shoot back and forth for a couple times. So one scene, like a little blood from the nose. The next scene,
his
a
arms
little.
kind of blowing
That's
up a
my
little
then the
bit.
favorite
next
part
scene-
is the blood just coming out of his arms. 'cause
Yeah,
There's something I'm trying to think of, and it's another decompression thing. It's probably something in
it's
space.
the CO2 building up in your body.
But there's something a movie I'm thinking of where like the veins pop up. Maybe it's Scanners. I don't know. Something. The veins like pop up and blood just starts spurting out and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's kind of like that, except they don't have the veins popping up. But it is just blood spurting out of the surface of his body.
And then another time that comes back, it's like blood pouring out of his ears.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we get like a pimple pop in the back of the head. And it's just like
it's until they cut away, it's fun as fuck.
Well, and even when they do, they cut away and it's just blood spatter across the side of
Yeah.
the escape pod. So we don't see the Scanners-esque head pop, but we do see the after effects at least.
yeah.
And I'll take it. The only note I took was explosive decompression indeed.
Indeed. Because
Because
they talked
the,
about
the
it.
warning screen is flashing like warning, explosive decompression. I'm like, you are correct.
You have no idea, computer. You're about to be soppy.
But so they're all locked in a room because now the command center's flooded. 'Cause when the escape pod launched, it let all this water in. And BJ's like, hey, I'll swim across the command center and get the fucking whatever DSRV
Submersible.
whatever he calls
Doesn't
it.
matter.
because now we just have Collins, BJ, and the doctor, Connie.
Yeah, and 40 seconds after he leaves,
Dr. BJ Collins here.
they hear a clang on the outer like airlock, and they're like, "Oh, must be him. He must be stuck. Open it
Even though he comes from, when he does get there, he comes from another side.
from
Like,
within the decompression
His
chamber."
whole thing was parking up to a decompression chamber, you dumb idiots.
Because yeah,
Ditzy idiots.
the place starts to flood.
Oh, I got it, and I think it's fantastic.
The place starts to flood. They get it closed, but it's like, okay, well, we know what came in with the water, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
right?
It's the
There,
monster.
I swear you can see the tail at one point when it comes in.
They might show it. I didn't catch it, but I was
I
also,
didn't see
I
it.
was
I'm not
looking
saying
up
you're
and
wrong.
down.
I just didn't catch it. But I like the doc. She's like, shh, there's something in here with us. Don't talk. You're talking. Don't move. You're moving.
You're moving.
But like BJ's in the decompression chamber. It takes 30 seconds to unlock. Pregnant Collins is waiting outside. And other Collins, no, it's Connie. That's why I got confused. I was like, it's two Collinses. No,
Yeah,
it's a
no,
Connie
no.
and a Collins.
Yeah, just pregnant Collins is great, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking phenomenal cocktail. Tom Collins, make it a pregnant Collins.
It's like a
How would
Tom
you make
Collins.
that?
It's like a Tom Collins with salmon roe.
you must just float a quail egg on top of it.
I was going salmon roe because we're doing underwater. I don't know. But so Collins is by the decompression door. The doctor's on the other side of the chamber. The thing comes up and it's all full, like flailing arms and flapping jaws and all this stuff.
So she gets a defibrillator.
Well, first she turns on like the exam light to get its attention, pulls out the defibrillator, fucking the door finally opens. Collins gets in there and she's got take this, you sack of fish shit.
Bam!
Which never seen fish shit in a sack, but I'll take it. Electrocute
Oh,
the
you
shit
haven't
out of this
lived.
thing.
Well, my brother-in-law actually opened a fish shit farm, and if you want to try something tough, you try bagging fish shit. Slippery as can be, I tell
It's also
ya.
stringy.
I never thought I had an easy job until I went to the fish shit farm. Big shit farming's easy, I'll tell you.
Just
You
hose
know how
that
many
shit around.
fish
Hose
you
it
would have
down.
to get enough fish shit to harvest?
746,000.
Oh, exactly.
Trust me. Otherwise, it just ain't worth it.
Minimum.
Minimum 746,000. And those are big fish.
But so she dies.
Oh.
The creature looks like it dies. It sinks underwater.
There's no way we're gonna see it again.
No,
This
no
is a
way.
slasher
Especially,
movie.
it's the guy that did Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it's
There's
done.
never a final scare, right?
Done.
So they
Um,
decompress.
But I did
in
laugh
this
though.
thing.
I did laugh though because they're like they're showing you that it quote died by it like falling under the water, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a crab monster.
Yeah.
That's where
It's
they live.
fine. Dude, when they had a decompression chamber, maybe like the new age in me was like, oh, it's just a place you like sit after work and after traumas and talk it out.
Oh,
Do you want
God,
to
right?
decompress before you go to the surface? Yes. Okay. Can I tell you that like Scarpelli was really annoying me today? I mean, she's just so hot and I'm jealous of her. I just wish I was her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you just trauma dump until you get to the surface.
I'm pretty sure that's just like if any of us got our shifty and the bar was still open and then we just went in the office to drink it.
I might start doing that. Is that an option?
Yes.
We got to go in the walk-in where it's cold and silent and just sit in there like, decompression.
I've done that also.
1,000-yard stare at a fucking box of beer. Just hey, people that aren't in the service industry, you may not know how much it actually takes out of us. And
When
we
you
love
see
it.
your bartender having a
We-
shifty, just let him be.
We love it.
But so yeah, Collins and the BJ, BJ and the Collins.
So you have a Collins and then you get a BJ.
I like that more than the pregnant Collins.
they decompress. There's only 8 minutes left until the reactor goes super nuclear or whatever. They do get away.
Computer starts singing, danger, high voltage.
And this is the end of Sphere. It didn't happen in Abyss, but
It
it's
did
definitely the end
not.
of Sphere. They're getting away from the thing and it explodes
Yeah.
and there's the shock
Might be
wave.
Leviathan 2. I can't remember since we've already recorded it already.
Oh, we already told everybody we
I
didn't.
know, I know.
But they get to the surface. They send out the lifeboat. They're like, let's get the fuck out of this really safe metal container and get onto this floating rubber thing real
And
quick.
you had a point that I didn't, because that was my point, was like, let's get on this stupid raft. You had a better point. Stay the fuck out of the sun.
Well,
you
they
stay in
had-
this little submersible.
That's how people die when they're lost at sea. Dehydration and overexposure.
Uh-huh.
So when they got hit by the blast, like the shockwave or whatever, he's like, I'm gonna drop the pump airs or whatever, and she's like, how are we gonna float without them? He's like, we have a flotation device, so the tank is gonna
Okay.
drop
All right,
again.
I guess. I thought when he said dropping the tanks, I assumed it was fuel.
Okay, well, the boat is connected to the submarine.
Mhm.
So put out the boat. Wait till the ship starts sinking.
Yep.
Because the top half of this thing was well above the water.
Yeah, it
I
was.
agree. And
I
I'm
just-
trying to avoid the sun always.
Because you know what happens right now? We get the end of Friday the 13th again. We get fucking mutant crab Jason jumping out of the water. Almost exactly the
I'm
same, too.
big.
It's like, it's the up and like arch over and grab. It's
Yeah.
the exact
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
shot.
For sure.
And tries to grab Collins. BJ starts fighting him. He
Opens up the fuel. Like,
blows the fuel
smart
tanks.
move.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Whitney, I always want to compliment Whitney. An hour into this movie when they were like, oh shit, this thing's going critical. What do we do? Whitney gave a very me answer. And she's like, fucking party it up and wait till that thing explodes. Take this thing out with you.
Yep,
Just like relegate yourself to death and be like, well, I'm bettering humanity.
it's all fuck.
This is the biggest version of pulling the pin on your own vest.
Yeah.
So I like that this guy's about to do the same thing because Whitney had it earlier with
You get the
very
thing
mean.
into the station and you just
You're
lock
rubbing
the
off
door.
on me.
Because that thing doesn't have hands. It has
Yeah.
mandibles
It's got
or claws.
Claws,
Mandibles
mandibles
are
is the mouth.
Claw mouth.
Yep, just like that.
Yeah. You guys can see it. 'Cause
I
we're not
really
doing
wish we
video.
did have video for that.
But he uses a flare gun to light the fuel on fire. Collins is like, "No, I love you, BJ,"
Oh,
and he's
come
like, "I
on.
love BJ's too." Fucking whole thing goes up.
It's most likely your baby.
It's really Richard's.
It could be Van Puderschmitten's.
It might be the captain's.
It could be the
Aw.
captain's.
We'll find out when he's born. Oh, we didn't mention Captain was black, but he was what, the 4th to die.
Yeah, not the first.
Love it.
So
Anyways,
big ups to this movie.
Yeah, we're not following all the tropes.
they killed the Russian before they killed the black guy. I love it.
The whole
89,
thing,
dude.
the whole thing blows up. She thinks she's alone on this raft.
I think I'm alone now.
BJ comes out of
Doesn't
the water,
seem to be a crab monster around.
and they float on that thing until they die shortly because there's no kind of tracking device.
I mean, like,
The end.
Your wife asked the best question because they are paddling. And she's like, where are they going? How do you know which way to go? Valid point. Myself, I'm going to go with the wind until it changes. I mean, you can navigate the stars at night. I don't know what you're doing
Well, yeah,
now.
but I mean, I guess they do know precisely where their station was. And they're like, all right, well, the sun's over here and it looks like it's setting. So that's the west, right? Yeah.
I mean,
They probably know the
assuming-
time of day.
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess I just forget what it's like
But
to
then
be
the sun
smart.
goes down, and you've got 8 to 10 hours of just paddling and hoping you're still going in the same direction.
That's
Right.
when you follow the North Star or go away from it. I don't know.
Don't know.
But that's the end of the movie. So we'll go around the horn for recommendations. Wife?
No,
No?
no.
And then end of that sentence.
I mean, I watched it with you guys. There were some really fun parts. It was lackluster of some shit.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I accept that answer. I disagree with it. I recommend it, especially for a one-time watch. Like, this is not going to be on my repeat list, but I had a really good time. Derek was right to watch this, not alone.
Correct.
A lot of the special effects were really fun. We talked about the exploding decompression thing, the half fucking body thing. I liked a lot of that. It is slow to start, but
They
once
did blow
we
the
get,
submarine up, too.
That's true.
The one that went to the surface.
That's
It was a
true.
real explosion.
Yeah. Where
yeah,
did
fire on the water.
Miguel's capsule go?
Oh, that thing's got
it's
fucking-
nearby. Just
No, only
floating with-
he
yeah.
exploded.
Oh no,
not-
I know. I'm saying like that's just a floating blood palace. But yeah, no, I recommend it. I thought it was really fun. A little slow at first, but then once we get going, we are going.
Yeah.
I feel like we are going at a good enough pace. I liked the monster. I liked the acting's fine. I mean, we're on a bad movie podcast. I wouldn't recommend this to people that aren't listening. I'm not calling my fucking mom to tell her that she's gonna watch this shit. But yeah, friends of the podcast will like this.
Yeah, if you like dumb movies, it's fun. It's definitely the worst of the movies. Okay, not the
I will
worst.
watch this
not the
before I
worst of the
watch
movies.
Ants.
Not the worst of the movies
Or not
we did
Ants.
this month. I'm
Empire
saying,
Van.
this month.
Empire Van. I will watch this again before I watch Empire
I'd
Van.
watch this before I watch.
No,
Sphere
but you're right.
ever
You're right.
again.
I'm wrong. Sphere is the worst.
Sphere is worse.
But out of the actual like movies that were movies,
Not a fucking play.
this one I think it's the lowest of like when you're talking like the 1989 ones at least, right? Waterworld, Leviathan, and this not Waterworld.
I was
The
like,
Abyss,
Waterworld was
Leviathan
not
in this.
89.
Yeah.
This is the worst of those, and it shows. And I mean, that's what that was their goal. Let's make the quick, cheap, low budget version of what these guys are doing,
I
and
still,
get it out before they get theirs out.
I wanted more of this monster. I wanted to
That's
see
my
way
biggest
more of it.
complaint. I want more monster. I want better deaths, but we got good deaths for what the budget was.
Yeah.
I think everybody did a pretty good job on acting. I don't think there were any really like sore thumb bad actors. There
Not
was
at all.
Hodges or whatever his name is, who was wearing like a trucker cap and had like the beard with no mustache, so he was
The
looking
Amish
like he was
beard.
supposed to be Southern, which was like his kind of accent.
Yeah.
But his face said like I'm from New York
Yes.
from fucking Boston. Yeah.
or whatever. It definitely didn't. And he was not the best, but he also was in the movie. Him and Fat Cop were the shortest lived. So.
Yeah, they were.
No, it's actually a really good point. No one was a sore thumb. It's not fucking winning awards for its acting, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like Whitney's favorite movie, Miami Connection.
I will
I
not
don't
ever
know
watch
what
that
she's
again.
doing here.
I don't know. Hand. Yeah, it's a soft recommend, but it's a recommend if you like shitty movies.
I'm recommending it to our listeners.
Yeah, if you, I mean, and even if you listen to this, it doesn't necessarily mean you like shitty movies. Maybe you just like to laugh at shitty movies. Like you laugh at other people telling you about how shitty they are.
I
Yeah.
think listening
But-
to us describe it is all you need.
Yeah,
That's a fair.
it's possible.
That's fair.
And I mean, if it
disagree.
becomes streaming
You're allowed
like
to have
if
your
it
own
becomes
opinion, even
streaming
if it's
on
wrong.
a subscription that you have, like if it becomes streaming on Prime, which seems the most likely, or even like a Tubi or something, it might be worth
Yeah.
it. It's only 107 minutes, so on Tubi you're gonna add in some commercials, but you're still not gonna break 2 hours.
You're fine.
So
You're in and out.
yeah, I think it's a soft recommend. It's all right.
All
Well,
right.
happy end of January.
Yeah, we all survived.
Heads up. Let's fucking
Well-
breathe some air.
I don't even have blood out of my eyes yet.
Oh, you
Here's hoping we
lucky.
survive our cruise. Here's hoping we don't have like a Leviathan sea monster.
When are you guys doing that? Deaduary?
Yeah.
Yes, during Made in Arizona month, we will be leaving Arizona, but the podcast will be
We'll
staying
be leaving
here.
the country.
So, all right, look, listeners, even if these two die, as long as Derek has them edited, I'll release these episodes.
You'll at least have episodes to the beginning of March.
Sweet.
So next month, February, is our Made in Arizona month, which we started doing last year because it is Arizona's birthday, February 14th. There's nothing else that happens that day that I can
1912.
think of. February
Yeah.
14th?
Nothing else. Well, my grandfather's birthday.
Oh, okay, cool,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Grandpa.
Yeah. Well, he's dead. He
Peepaw.
can't hear you. It was
Whatever.
Opa. That was Opa.
Opa. All right. I knew
That
it was one of them
Opa,
names.
yeah.
But it's the first week of Made in Arizona month, so we will be discussing a Nicolas Cage film.
Ooh.
It is Firebirds, which is basically Nicolas Cage doing Top Gun, but with helicopters and less actual helicoptering than there's planes in Top Gun, and more Nicolas Cage playing on a flight simulator. Also Tommy Lee Jones, though.
Oh.
yeah.
So
Give me some of that.
You know what? I can sanction that buffoonery.
so that's what we will be discussing next week. Maybe it's awesome.
I think it is.
I watched it recently, but it's while we were drinking a lot of beer.
Yeah.
And don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople. It's only $3 a month. $3.
Month.
$3.
Wah!
That's less than a bottle of water these days.
It's true. Sad, but true.
And this month's episode, as we mentioned during this, is The Abyss. James Cameron's The Abyss with Ed Harris and a bunch
Lady
of other
Mary.
cool people.
Michael Bean.
Michael Bean, Maid Marian.
Yeah.
You
Yep,
got-
Maid Marian.
You got Johnny
Johnny Ringo, Michael Bean.
Johnny Ringo from Tombstone. You got Maid and Marian.
Yeah,
from-
made in Marion because her mom's name is Marion and she was made inside of her. You got Catfish. They used to call this the hammer points at fist.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love me some cat.
Plus, it's
Yes.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
And I mean, to say what you will about the Avatar movies and stuff, but James Cameron from Terminator to True Lies was just fucking banging them
Dude,
out.
True Lies is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, but we got video for that.
Get on the
We
chopper.
do have video for that.
We got some video
So
if you
there'll
want
be
to
a
see our
video up
stupid
there for you
faces.
folks. And also, you have your first Patreon exclusive episode of Latchkey Vids coming out this month,
Latchkey Vids.
which will be episode 2 of Cop Rock, titled
Latchkey Vids.
Ill-Gotten Gains.
We are closer and closer to the baby merchant.
And I have watched this episode. My esteemed co-hosts have not.
I didn't think I was
And
that
I
level.
can tell you, it
Esteemed.
starts with a funeral for the guy that died in that first one. And his partner, whose name escapes me right now, goes up to give a eulogy.
and sings it.
Of course, he
And
sings
sings
it.
Yes.
It starts. It kicks off.
die.
It kicks off with him going up to sing this, and right before he starts, a dude just comes out of nowhere playing a saxophone.
Ooh.
So tune in for that. It
I'm
is
excited.
wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to thank Evasion for providing our opening and closing music.
Always.
Thank you, boys.
That's it for Drownuary. I've been Derek.
I'm still married to him, guys.
I'm Jack.
Good night, and don't forget to decompress. Blurf. But she was in. God.
Do you need some more cocaine?
I need
Just
less.
did a fucking bump of oxygen.
That's what I was telling her earlier when I was walking around. I was like, I feel like I've been doing cocaine all day.
Uh-huh.
Like my nose
Except for I
is
don't feel like I've been doing
except
cocaine
for I have
all
no
day.
energy and I'm not having a good time.
My nose did cocaine. My brain did not.
I have no energy. I'm not having a good time. And I don't hate myself. So
I did not write a script for Kick-Ass 4. I don't even think they made it 3. My coke-ass brain just skipped 3. It was like, I'm going to write Kick-Ass 4, man.
I'm
Yeah.
future proofing.